Diatonic, the word diatonic, of the tonic. In music, we refer to the tonic when discussing the root or the key that we're in. Dia, meaning of the. So the diatonic chord scale for our 7th chords is going to tell us all of the chords that are available to us in each key. Now this works two ways. One way, it works for a composer. It gives us a palette that we can use to write music. So if I know 7 chords that exist in the key of C, I could try one out and see if I like it. Then I could try another one after that. And I could try another one after that, etc. Understanding that this is what I'm allowed to use in this particular key. It also works the other way. I can look at a piece of music, look at all of the chords in it, and diagnose which key these chords have been generated from. That helps me with improvising, helps me with positions that I'm going to play on the guitar, helps me with voicings that I'm going to use on any instrument, piano, what have you. In order to create our diatonic 7th chords, you need to have gone over diagnosing the 7th chord stacks and being able to generate a chord symbol from 7th chord stacks, as we did in the last video. You have to be good at that. Otherwise, you're not going to understand this. As you can see here, I've written the C major scale out. I have my degree numbers underneath. Above that, I've written these letters. That's not because I don't think that you can read music, as I said in the triad video. This just makes our life easier in the long run. Okay, in order to create this, I'm going to use that old friend of ours, tertian harmony. We've been using it constantly throughout. You can see how important it is, right? So the first thing that I'm going to do is take 1, 3, 5, and 7 and stack them up on our first chord here. Okay, so I'm using tertian harmony to create a 7th chord. That's going to give me C, E, G, B. C, E, G, B is 1, 3, 5, and 7, and I know that that creates a major 7. So this first chord is a C major 7. Now here's something that's really important. This number, as I said in the triad video, this style of number, this Arabic numeral, represents a single note. This is not a single note. This is a chord. Chords in music are represented by Roman numerals. So I need to change that to an uppercase Roman numeral 1. Now I go to the 2 chord. From 2, I'm going to skip 3 and bring 4 over. After I do that, I'll end up with a D, F, A, C. So I just keep going until I have 4 notes. I keep skipping using tertian harmony, stacking it up until I have 4 notes. Then I analyze what's there. So I would have to write out the D major scale. I'd have to get a D major 7 and compare this against it, and I would end up seeing that this is a D minor 7. Okay? Now, again, very important. This represents a single note. This is no longer a single note. This is a chord that exists inside of a key. This is a harmony. And so that's represented by a Roman numeral. In this case, it's a lowercase Roman numeral because the chord is minor. I go to the 3 chord, and I end up, after I use tertian harmony, I'm going to end up with E, G, B, D. I would write out the E major scale because I need to diagnose what this is. Write out the E major scale, take 1, 3, 5, and 7, take a look at how they compare, and I would see that this is a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7 chord in the key of E. Therefore, it's an E minor 7. Okay? Then I move to my F. Now you notice that I'm not changing anything in here, right? I'm not adding a sharp anywhere. I'm not adding a flat anywhere. If I did that, I would no longer be in the key of C. Now we can talk about secondary dominance and stuff like that later on and those kind of higher concepts. But right now, if we were to put a sharp in here somewhere, we would no longer be in the key of C because the key of C has no sharps or flats. So we're just taking what the key is giving us by using tertian harmony with each of these degrees of the C major scale as the root. Okay? There's our E minor 7. We go to F, tertian harmony, F, skip G, A, skip B, C, skip D, and then come back to an E. F, A, C, E ends up becoming an F major 7 harmony. Oh gosh, I skipped a crucial step. Sorry, let's back up. This E minor 7 is a 3. It's a 3 chord. Okay, this represents a single note. I've got to get rid of that and change it to a Roman numeral so that it represents a chord in a key. Notice it's lowercase, and that's because the chord is minor. So when I come over here to my 4 chord, I've stacked up F, A, C, E, which ends up being an F major 7, you would see, if you were to go through the steps that we've discussed before, okay, to diagnose a chord stack. And I've got to change my Arabic 4 to a Roman numeral 4. And it's going to be uppercase because it's a major 7 chord. Okay? Now to my G, my 5 chord. G, B, D, F, as I use tertian harmony and go around. Line, 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 right? That G, G, B, D, F, is actually a dominant chord, G7. So I'm going to come down here, change that Roman numeral to an uppercase 5 because the 3 is major. And then I'm going to put a 7 after it. You don't have to do that. That's just something I like to do, something that my theory teachers in college did. It just shows me that it's a 7th chord, dominant 7th chord. Okay, then I go to my A, and I'll end up with A, C, E, G. This is a 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7 if I go from an A, if I'm measuring the intervals from A. That harmony creates an A minor 7. It's a minor, so that means that I need a lowercase 6. I move on to B, B, D, F, A. Okay, that B, D, F, A ends up to be a 1 if I measure the intervals from B. B is 1, flat 3, flat 5 from B, flat 7 from B. That is a minor 7 flat 5 harmony. Okay? And then I would come over here and I could do that for my C and have my C major. Oh, sorry, Roman numeral. Jeez, where's my head? 7. And this is the weird part. It's not diminished. It's half diminished. So I've got a lowercase 7 circle with the line through it, half diminished. Okay? And this is your diatonic chord scale. So these are all of the chords that I could use in the key of C. You'll find as you move to other keys that the letters just change. These letters will change, but the quality of the chords, the Roman numerals and the quality of the chords will stay the same, just like your triads. So if this were the key of E flat, this would be an E flat major 7, an F minor 7, a G minor 7, A flat major 7, B flat 7, C minor 7, D minor 7 flat 5, and an E flat major 7. Of course, these notes would change, right? And these Roman numerals would stay the same. So memorize this pattern because it's the same for every key. Okay.